Hey there, this is Mr. Kopitsky. Just wanted to go through our first PowerPoint, which is choosing a new government. And this is an extension of the activity we did in class, the island disaster activity, where you guys got to form a new government. So there are a couple types of government we want to talk to in general, large groups. One is an autocracy. That's a rule by one person. There's different types of autocracies, as we'll see. But when one person rules, we call that an autocracy. Auto, right? Oligarchy. This is a rule by a small group of people. It could be a political party, it could be a rich elite, but an oligarchy is a rule by a small, powerful group. And democracy is ruled by the people, and there are different types of democracy we'll see. So here's an example of an autocracy, a dictatorship. A single leader, Adolf Hitler, for example. Now, it says not elected. Sometimes dictators come into power through elections, but then limit those elections or have show elections that really aren't true choices where everybody just basically votes for the dictator. Vladimir Putin is following on this path. Uses force to keep control, really doesn't care what people think, and is not very responsive to individual rights or liberty. Military dictatorship, sometimes called a junta, is where the army takes power. Monarchy, king or queen, right? This can be an autocracy. Sometimes, especially in the past, the king or queen might have had unlimited power or absolute power. But often, even in ancient times or medieval times, there were certain limits that were imposed to a certain extent, sometimes through Congress, sometimes through like a parliament, sometimes through, tradition. But anyway, a monarchy is a rule through a family line, power passed through family. It's fairly rare today. There are some constitutional monarchies where the king and queen share power with legislatures, and really the legislature has most of the power. For example, in England, right, United Kingdom. The king of, or queen in this case of England, is a figurehead. She's a ceremonial head of state, but the prime minister and the parliament really control the legislative process and lawmaking. Here's another good word, totalitarian, total, okay? This is ruled by a single party or dictator, and most aspects of life are controlled. The media, travel, what jobs you can get. This is leaving the country, for example. North Korea today is a totalitarian rule. Here's another good term, theocracy. Theo means God or religion. Rule by those who claim to rule on behalf of their God. We see the supreme leader of Iran, democracy, democracy. The idea is here that the church is in power. The government is set up by the church. Iran would be an example of this. The Taliban would be an example of this. The religious authorities decide what laws are and how people should interact. Communism. Now, this is a form of an oligarchy. The Communist Party is in control, and we're going to see this down the road a little bit. Communism is an economic idea where the government owns the means of production and all productive property. Democracy is probably something you're more familiar with. The people rule in democracy. There's a couple types of democracies. A direct democracy, as in ancient Athens. People govern themselves by voting on all issues. So if you have a very small group of people in ancient Athens, or for example on your island, you can vote on everything. That becomes harder the bigger your country gets and the more complex your decision-making becomes. That's why we have a republic, which is a form of democracy. The citizens rule through elected officials. So we vote for people and they make the decisions for us, based on hopefully representing our interests. Here we go. Anarchy, right? If you ever see this sign, that means anarchy. No government, right? No order. An anarchist believes that government is bad. It prevents people from doing what they want in their own lives. Pretty extreme view of how society should be organized. Economic theories. And these are these can be implemented in any of those structures that we saw, but they deal with who does the production and who gets what and how the economy is set up. In capitalism, private citizens own their own businesses and property, right? The Bill Gates starts Microsoft, and he sells shares to private citizens who own the company. And Microsoft decides what gets produced. And if it's successful, well, they get profit. If it's not successful, then they're going to go out of business. Socialism is the idea that certain industries and certain aspects of the economy should be owned by the government or set up for a more equitable distribution of resources. Various forms of socialism, extreme socialism can go into communism, but most democratic socialism, like you see in Scandinavian countries, the government owns many large industries. There's a large safety net with schools, health, and welfare, but there is also private ownership of property, though there's usually a high tax rate and a lot of government control. And communism is where the government owns all businesses and farms and means of production. There's government provision of healthcare, welfare, and education, but private ownership of the means of production is outlawed, and the government decides really what gets produced. Remember Microsoft? Bill Gates decided, hey, I'm going to make Windows, or Elon Musk says, I'm going to make a new Tesla car. In communism, the government says, this government factory is going to produce shoes, black and blue shoes, but no white shoes this year, and we're going to make 20,000 of them, and this is going to be the price. So the government makes those production decisions rather than the market. And that's sort of our basic introduction to a few different theories of government.